welcome to CopShop. I'm Nicole Brown. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Farmington Police Department. And always with me is the wonderful Chief.
It's good to see you again.
I know you too.
We missed a couple weeks.
We did. You were on vacation.
I was. But I miss Scott. I miss you. I miss the show.
You did.
So I canceled vacation and came back.
No.
I don't know if I was really sane when I did it, but I'm back.
So you're back, and that's great.
We've had a busy summer, but we're getting into the dog days of it already.
I know. I can't believe school's already started, and we're getting back into pumpkin spice lattes are back, so fall is here, people.
Well,
be
that's
prepared.
an indicator.
Halloween's next, and then you might as well just go to New Year's and Christmas.
So, we're going to try and get guests in the future. We weren't able to get any guests today, so why don't you just continue on, Nicole?
No, we do. We have a wonderful guest today that I'm very excited about. We have Mr. Gary Smeltz with us today. How are you?
Well, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're excited.
Although Chief already forgot about me. I'm sitting right next to him, and he already forgot I was here.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize he was there, but yep, he's very quiet. He's doing a good job.
So we brought you on to talk about the Wall That Heals, which you are co-chair, right? Of
I am. I'm a vice chair, one of the founders of bringing it to our community. And so our chairwoman, her name is Lillian Clopine, and she had the vision to bring this here and asked me to join in the efforts of that. So it's been a couple of years in the making. Obviously, COVID threw a little bit of a wrench in the plans, but it is coming, and we are a couple of weeks away from it appearing in Farmington, New Mexico. We're very excited about it.
A little more poignant timing on this than we thought was going to be.
Yes.
With what we're seeing on TV out of Afghanistan. I think we'll be perhaps out of there as early as Tuesday, but I don't know that all the Americans will be out when that happens. So that makes this, I think a little more relevant.
Yeah. We picked the date because of the relevance to the 9/11 memorial anniversary, and so it will be here September 9th through the 12th. And one of the things that I know we'll talk about some of the details of it, but one of the things I think, especially the last couple of weeks, has kind of brought to focus, and certainly the events of the last couple of days, is that names are important, and this is a memorial that is solely comprised of names. And those names are important that's on that wall, and that's why we're bringing it to Farmington, is so that we can honor those names, we can remember those names, and where necessary, repeat the names that are on that wall.
Yep. No, I think it's a great thing. And where is it gonna be housed?
Yeah. So
if you want to see it, where do you go?
Yeah. So the wall will. It's called the Wall That Heals. It's a 3/4 replica of the Washington Memorial wall. So it's we're closely tied with the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, the only traveling exhibit of its kind that's tied to the monument in DC. And so it's called the Wall That Heals, and it's appropriately named because that's exactly what it does. It comes to communities and where veterans, those that have loved ones that are on there, Gold Star families that have maybe names that are on that wall, have not had an opportunity to go to Washington to see the Vietnam Memorial there. It's brought to their community, and this is a great way for us to provide healing for not just veterans, but families of veterans and community. And it also comes with an education center as well, and so the traveling exhibit is an mobile education center is what we call it. And so it'll be here in Farmington at the San Juan College athletics field. So it's open and free to the public, September 9th, starting at 12 o'clock a.m. So if you want to come and be the first one, come Wednesday night, and it'll be open to the public beginning at 12 and carry on all the way until Sunday, the 12th, until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
So who decides who pulls the 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. shift?
Yeah, that's
a rough shift.
We have a really great group of volunteers. It's going to take about 150 different volunteers. We do have a Facebook page out there, so I'm going to encourage all the listeners to go out to our Facebook page, the Wall That Heals Farmington, New Mexico, and there is a sign-up sheet on there. I think Scott has it as well for us to take a look at. There's a sign-up sheet for under Sign Up Genius. You can go sign up, put your name on there, and sign up for that 12 a.m. shift. And so this is really a great community effort. We really are excited that there are some sponsors of it. We've had 3 major sponsors, which is Pinion Hills Seventh-day Adventist Church, Chick-fil-A is one of the sponsors, and then Blue Star Moms is our sponsor as well. And there's been a lot of other folks that have come in to help make this thing happen, in addition to all the volunteers that we're needing to execute something like this. But just a grassroots kind of community effort, and I love those kind of things, and that's why I'm a part of one of those with this event specifically.
No, have you ever been to see the wall actually in?
I have. I had the honor of seeing it with my father in February of 2020. It was the second time we've been, but the first time I was about 14 or 15 years of age, but didn't really appreciate it. Sure. And to be there with him, we went at night. It was just a very, very special, humbling experience to be there with my dad, who served in Vietnam, and to go and trace some of his some people that he knew on the wall. We have people from our community that are on that wall, some that my dad knew, went to high school with, served with, and so it'll bring you to your knees. It really will. I mean, it's a very, very sacred spot in D.C. right off of the mall, and to see it at night is just a really incredible experience. And so that's why ours is available in the evening, all throughout the night. It'll be lit by some lights. There's a great picture of it there. But it is really just a sacred spot. And when it comes to our community, just a really, awesome opportunity for our community, veterans, those families, Gold Star families, to come and to honor those names that are on the wall. And so this is a really powerful example of people who have laid down their lives in sacrifice for the honor or the freedoms that we all get to enjoy today. And so I think a fitting way for us to bring this into the community is we're doing an honor escort. And so with participations from Farmington Police Department, which we're grateful for that, but we will be doing an honor escort to bring this into the community on September 7th. So that's Tuesday, September 7th. It'll begin at La Plata County Fairgrounds at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I know this is in the middle of the week, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and not a lot of people may be available to make it, but we're encouraging those that can come and be a part of that. This is a motorcycle escort, and then also I think there's a group of classic car enthusiasts that want to join in, and so maybe they're not motorcyclists, but we'd encourage them to come and be a part of that as well. And that's going to begin at the La Plata County Fairgrounds at 1 o'clock on September 7th, and it'll come all the way through Durango, up 550 into Aztec and Bloomfield, and terminate here in Farmington at the San Juan College athletic fields.
Very good.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Well, it's, like we were talking about earlier, it's a poignant time when you're watching stuff like that on television. We just had 13 more service members killed, yesterday in a bomb where they're trying to evacuate Americans and some of our Afghan allies out of the country in very chaotic circumstances, and they were attacked and killed. I think another 15 or more were injured.
Yes, sir.
So when you watch stuff like that, there's just that feeling of helplessness and powerlessness, that you can't do anything, you can't be part of it, you can't let people see how you feel about it. But this actually gives you a chance to come down and pay your respects and recognize what a great sacrifice was made on our behalf so that we can still be here. It's not the same war, but we've got a war that's finishing up in an ugly fashion. And here's a chance to actually come out as a community and let people know that we don't forget our servicemen who gave their life.
That's right.
It is such amazing timing, and I think that it's great that you guys also did it with 9/11. That timing is really great too, and yeah, I do think that this is going to be healing for our community and great for the community. So it's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, there's over 58,000 names on the wall, and this year there was a few names that were actually added to the wall to the total number. So we're still adding people to that conflict. And, it is one of those things. It's an opportunity for Americans to set aside their political viewpoints,
right,
to come together to honor those that complete strangers, sometimes people that we actually know, or some people that we actually have no connection with. But the connection that we do have is that these are folks that lay down their lives for us. And there's 8 women whose names are on there. So the men and women who served in that conflict deserve the opportunity for us in our community to the highest respect and the highest honor. So this is a great way for us to do that. So come on out and see the wall, visit it. Again, those dates are September 9th through the 12th, open at 12 o'clock a.m. On that morning, and it'll go until 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday.
Well, very good. I hope that everybody does get a chance to come out. I know I'll come out. I think it's almost ironic that we were actually comparing, the president himself was comparing the exit of Saigon to the exit of Kabul.
That's right.
And,
That's
I mean, it's drawing it all the way back, and unfortunately with brutal similarity. But thanks for being on, Gary.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
It's my pleasure.
I know Scott is rougher on some of my guests, but this is the only gig I could get. So I'm sorry about Scott, but otherwise it's great having you on the show.
Thank you for having us, and I would encourage, again, all the listeners to go to our Facebook page, The Wall That Heals, Farmington, New Mexico. Find us there. If you're interested in volunteering for any of the slots available, there's a sign-up sheet there, and more information on the actual wall, the size of it, the scope of it, all that kind of stuff. But something really healing for our community as well. So thank you for having me, Chief.
Very good. Thank you. Well, we had other things going on lately. It has been a busy summer for us, and one of the areas that we've been focused on, you've seen us in the paper, you've seen us on KOB yesterday, and that's traffic and traffic enforcement. And we've had some rough days in that. Many of our crime stats actually are down across the board, but one that is up is our serious injury accidents.
Yeah, and that, has to be attributed to speed. And, I see it all the time through our Facebook inbox or just as I'm driving about. People are speeding a lot, and that will contribute to very serious accidents. And we've definitely seen an uptick in those. I think we've had 5 accidents that were so serious that we had to, have our reconstruction team respond since mid-June.
Yep.
So that's huge for our community. That's a big impact on our community. So we do really need people to, we're doing enforcement, but we also need you to slow down and be a little more careful. And school zones are up. Please slow down in school zones.
Yeah.
To me, it's a big deal. School zones are huge.
Let's not have a tragedy,
Yeah.
and then be talking about it. We've certainly had enough of them already. Our latest one involved 2 people, a mother and son, that are up in the Denver hospital. They can't even be treated here in Farmington. Had to be evacuated because of the seriousness of their injuries. I've actually talked to the mother. She's doing better, but the son is looking at months of rehab. So these are life-changing things that to take your foot off the accelerator a little bit and slow down 10 miles an hour from 65 back down towards 55 on Pinion Hills would be safe for everyone, safe for the community. You can do something to help yourself and to help us. But our officers are out there. Like I said, crime across the board is down here in Farmington, but this one is up. Even crashes are down, but the intensity of those crashes is up. So we are asking the public to help us out, and let's see if all together we can try and make Farmington a little bit safer.
Yeah, absolutely. And also our the crash on Pinion Hills was also attributed to alcohol. So the driver of the other vehicle was arrested for DWI, and so really stress that if you plan on drinking or you don't and you end up drinking, find another way to get home, or go somewhere where you can stay and you don't have to get in a vehicle and drive, because it is so dangerous, and you're not just a danger to yourself, you're a danger to other people.
And we've had a number of the fatalities was a combination of speed and alcohol. So we had a double fatality earlier this summer, and alcohol is suspected in that one as well. So it's not something to play around with. People's lives are changing as a result of it.
Yeah.
So we're also in the middle of a hard recruiting push.
We are.
And how's that going?
Well, so-so.
Yeah, so-so.
So-so. It's a great place to work. I am new to Farmington Police Department, and I am not a sworn officer, but I really do have to vouch that I love working for the department. I genuinely feel like they care about their employees, and so I'm not a salty veteran yet, but
well, you're getting there. couple of more years of this radio show, and you're going to be salty enough.
But it really, and the city of Farmington is really great to work for, and this is such a great area to live in. Of course, I'm biased because I was born and raised here, but I love it. You can say that you're new here.
I am new here. Yeah, I'm not that salty yet. 7.5 years here. But seriously, we are recruiting. We are down a number of officers. I know the sheriff's office has struggled too. I think Albuquerque PD. I mean, I know that there's a national dialogue, and I know that it isn't particularly favorable towards the police. But even what we're seeing in Afghanistan, we're talking about it. You have some stabilizing force, and when you pull that stabilizing force out, things fall apart. And honestly, that's what you're seeing in some of our cities across the country. We do not want to see that here. We need good people who have high ethics, high integrity, and want to make a difference in their community. And you can be a part of Farmington PD, and what you're going to know every day, when you're watching TV and you're watching what's going on in all these other cities, that's because they don't have cops. That's because they're not getting people that want to step up and do it. We do not want to have that here. And every day that you're working for the PD, you know you're part of keeping the city safe and keeping things under control. So, I'm giving you a strong pitch. Now is the time we need police officers. We don't need cops when times are fat and everybody loves the cops. I think there's like 15 minutes in my 31-year career. It isn't often. So don't worry about it. You're not going to have too much love and affection. That's not going to be a distraction for you. But you will be respected, and you will be doing something that every day makes a difference. So, I strongly urge you to give our recruiters a call at FPD. Check us out on the FPD Facebook page. Check us out on the FPD Recruiting Facebook page. And
then also our website is joinfpd.com, .org, .net, whichever one you want to pick.
That's right.
It'll take you to us, and you can chat with a recruiter right there on our website. So if you have questions about, the testing or any of that, our recruiters are awesome, and they're easy to talk to. They're very relatable, and they can definitely hook you up. The phone number is right there. It's 599-1027 if you want to give us a call and talk directly to a recruiter. They are there. They will help you. We need you. It is, Chief's right. Now is the time to be a part of your community. And honestly, there is that national narrative, going on with law enforcement, but the community here is so supportive, and we really do have a good relationship. And part of that is because of our officers and the daily work that they are doing out in the community. And I believe that reflects well in the way our community supports us.
And so it starts with getting good people in the door.
Exactly.
Now, Nicole was on the verge of joining the sworn ranks and then suffered a devastating injury, horseback riding.
Oh, my gosh.
Which appeared to knock her out. So I'm telling you, if you're thinking about law enforcement, stay off horses for a little while. Right? I mean, it's a cautionary tale for everyone.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Public service announcement by the Farmington Police Department. Horses are dangerous.
Not really. They're not. Just, I'm clumsy.
Well, whatever the circumstances were, it ended tragically. That's all I can tell you. And otherwise, we've got our National Night Out. We are in the
so excited.
Advanced planning stages.
Yeah, we finally get to do it. I'm so excited. So National Night Out will be October, I believe, 5th this year. It's the first Tuesday in October. So if I'm wrong, just first Tuesday in October. And we're going to be out at Burke Park having a great time. We really missed it last year, so we're really looking forward to it. And we're also doing our community discussion.
We are.
September 22nd at the Civic Center. So much happened in 2020. There was a lot of legislation passed in New Mexico that affect policing, and then just how does that impact our community? And typically we're able to go out and talk about that with everyone, but because of the restrictions and physical distancing that we had to do, we weren't able to. So we are going to try and catch up.
Yes. Now, we did one by Zoom.
We did, yeah.
And it'll be sort of that same format. In fact, Scott is going to be the moderator for that.
Yeah.
And so you can tell just on the years that we've spent together, the level of intensity and animosity here. It should be, there should be a lot of hard questions. But we're asking any of you for questions, and we'll give you all the links and everything so that you can talk about policing or some of the things that the PD is doing or some of the laws that have changed, like marijuana legalization. So it is kind of 2020 was a very interesting year in many ways, and we're going to talk about some of those changes and what your department's doing to keep up with those.
And we just really, I feel like, want to interact with the community because we want to kind of get back to where we were.
Yes.
I know we can't completely go back, but hopefully we can have an in-person event where we can have face-to-face conversations, because I feel like that's when the communication with the community is at its best. You know, over digital media is really tough, and you know, if we have to do virtual, it's you know, the second best thing. But man, having those in-person conversations is great.
Yep. So another great show for us. We thank Gary for being on.
Thank you so much.
And we hope that everybody does go out. First, volunteer for the midnight to 4 a.m. shift.
I feel like that's a great shift, though, because it's probably going to be pretty warm.
Yeah.
Like at 2 o'clock, it's like 90 degrees.
I'll give you that. Look at that.
Yeah.
You can maybe bring your
go out
horse
at
at 4 in the morning.
midnight.
Nobody'd even know.
Have some coffee, and you'll be able to just quietly,
Yes.
you know, walk through and look at all the names.
So they're looking for
It'll be very
volunteers,
peaceful.
and they're looking for visitors. So let's all dive in.
Definitely.
Let's do that. Thanks again, Gary, for being here. Thank you, Scott. Thanks, Nicole. And
Thank you.
I'm Chief Hebby saying be safe with your horse.
You're listening to the Cultural Beacon of the Four Corners, 90.9 FM KSJE Farmington.
Hi, I'm Sam Payne, host of The Appleseed, an hour filled with stories for you and your